Call a meeting to order. Regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the 29 Palms Water District, December 17th at 4 p.m. This meeting may be viewed on the district website at www.29palmswater.net. The board reserves the right to discuss only and take actions on any item on the agenda. Roll call, Cindy?
Yes. Director Arthur?
Present.
Director Bowden?
Here.
Director Coghill?
Here.
Director Leeser?
Here.
Director Woods?
Here.
Okay, before we get started, I caution everyone to turn your cell phones off. That's going to be collected for cell phone interruptions. With that, Cindy, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Cindy. All right, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
There are none.
Public comments. Please complete a request to be heard form prior to the start of the meeting. The public may address the board for 3 minutes on district-related matters. Government code prohibits the board from taking action on matters that are not on the agenda. However, the board may refer the matter for future consideration. Are there any public comments?
There are none.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, item 1 on the agenda is election of officers. What is the pleasure of the board? President, Vice President.
to us?
Well,
Oh, I know he's talking to us. We did this a year ago?
yeah, every year we have to do it.
Every year.
You want to remain status quo, or?
Yes, I feel like we just did this, so yes.
I
We
did.
did, last year.
No, I felt it was
Sorry.
more recent like you. I thought we
Yeah,
discussed it,
yeah.
so.
I would move to remain status quo if there was a second.
I'll second.
Okay. You good with this?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay.
I'll stay in the vice president position, and you're still being the president. You're still good?
Did they get paid
And-
extra?
We get a little extra lint in our pocket, but other than that,
Use more gas. All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed? So ordered. I heard that.
6-0.
6-0, exactly. Thank you, my fellow board members.
Thank you, President Cochran.
Okay, item number 2 is adopting resolution 25-12, commending Russell Frechette for 16 years of public service.
I'm going to give the presentation at the podium. And Russell, will you join me, please?
Russell, did I pronounce that right?
Russell Frechette.
Thank you. I hate mispronouncing that. It's embarrassing.
Thank you, members of the board. Before you tonight, Russell Frechette is retiring from the 29 Palms Water District. 16, close to 17 years. We're right on that cusp. So tonight is Resolution 2512, a resolution of the Board of Directors commending Russell Frechette for 16 years of public service. Whereas Russell Frechette has been employed with the 29 Palms Water District since January 12, 2009. And whereas Russell Frechette served in the maintenance department as a service worker 1 and service worker 2 for 9 years until his promotion as a water quality tech operator in 2018. And whereas Russell Frechette at the treatment plant for the remainder of his career, retiring as a treatment plant 1 operator. And whereas Russell Frechette has been committed and a dedicated public servant and has worked tirelessly and cooperatively to promote the well-being of the 29 Palms Water District. And whereas Russell Frechette fostered a positive, comic, and productive work environment and contributed to the overall success of the organization. Whereas Russell Frechette has been a great role model and mentor and friend to the fellow employees. Whereas throughout his years of service, he has served the district, the people of the district with fairness and dedication. And whereas the Board of Directors of the 29 Palms Water District desires the pleasure of recognizing and commending Russell Frechette for such public service, now therefore let it be it resolved, as the Board of Directors of the 29 Palms Water District does this resolution, honors, thanks, and commends Russell Frechette for 16 years of service with the 29 Palms Water District. So this is for Russell.
I'll say something quick. I don't need the microphone because I can talk loud. It's been my absolute honor and privilege to work here. This is the best job I've ever had. I'm moving on to do some creative things on my own. So it's just a time in my life where I was able to finally take that risk. So I'm going to go do it. So if you need me, I'll be drawing funny looks. So, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got a question. Number 6, do you approve? You vote number 6.
Approve them?
Yeah.
So, being that it is a resolution, we need to adopt it, obviously. So all those in favor of adopting the resolution, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item number 3, receive and file Water Resources Economics 2025 Water Rate Study and direct staff to proceed with scheduling a public hearing in compliance with Proposition 218. Mr. Landry?
Before the board today is the final report from Water Resources Engineering, water study. You guys saw the slide presentation in last month's Board of Directors meeting. The report before you has scenario 2 from Water Resources Economics, which includes 180 days of annual operating expense, an annual average of the 5-year capital expenditure budget, and an emergency target of $2 million for an unexpected well failure. The goal of this study and report is to develop an updated 5-year study of the water rates that will significantly fund the district's water system expenses, help the district meet financial goals, and comply with water service principles. So tonight before you, there is a discussion, and the recommendation from staff would be to receive and file the report, but also proceed with the scheduling of a public hearing in compliance with Prop 218. But let's open it up for discussion, see if there's any more discussion on the 2025 rate study.
Before we do that, I have one question. Are there any changes to this from what we looked at last week or last month?
It's more in depth because it's the final report, so there's more into it. There's more, instead of going with all the different scenarios, this is one scenario that's showing the 7% increase throughout.
More clarity?
But more clarity
Okay.
and getting ready for the Prop 218 notice.
Questions? Director Dodd?
I don't have any.
Director Woods? That's all, is it?
Nothing.
Director
None.
Woods?
You guys answer them last go round.
Agreed. So, what's the timeline for proceeding with scheduling a public hearing in compliance with policy?
So the attorneys have just said, like, don't set a date, just in case we come across a 45-day issue, getting the Prop 218 notices out. So at this point, if you direct staff through directing us to go to a public hearing, it will get all the Prop 218 stuff that we need in place. So you guys just receiving and file their report, and then directing staff to set the public hearing with no date. Looks like we're going to have the public hearing in the February, so we have there's a 45-day period for Prop 218 with an extra 5 days for the attorneys to review anything that could be a protest. So today just giving us that, a receive and file and then direction.
And this is not by vote?
Yes,
We need-
by vote.
So it's a motion to file and proceed forward with the public
Okay.
notice.
So now we need a motion and a second to do the recommendation.
I make a motion that we receive and go forward with the recommendation I read most of it. I read all of it, but skimmed some of it. Our last 5-year plan has kind of been right on the mark. This is a lower rate overall. At the very end, it's not that much more expensive to the ratepayer, percentage-wise and dollar-wise, which I'm one of. And it has the added part in it of having a budgeted amount of money in case we have some kind of catastrophic emergency. And I think it just makes a lot of sense. So I would like to say that we move forward on this.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded that we proceed with the recommendation for the study. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please, Cindy.
Yes. Director Arthur?
Aye.
Director Bowden?
Aye.
Director Leeser?
Aye.
Director Woods?
Aye.
Director Coghill?
Yes. Okay, thank you. Item number 4 is the consent calendar. Excuse me. Matters under the consent calendar are to be considered routine and will be enacted in a single motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the board, staff, or the public request specific items to be removed for separate discussion and action before the board votes on the motion to adopt. So we're going to need a motion and a second to adopt the audit.
I'll make the motion to adopt and accept.
I second.
Roll call vote, Cindy?
Director Arthur?
Aye.
Director Bowden?
Aye.
Director Leeser?
Aye.
Director Woods?
Aye.
Director Coghill?
Yes. Okay, item 5 is no items were removed, so item 6, management reports, maintenance. Superintendent Menifee.
Good evening, Board of Directors. The Operation and Maintenance Department performed the following tasks during the month of November 2025. Responded to 57 USA tickets, 4 leak audits, 56 shutoffs, 562 completed total work orders, 107 valves exercised, 8 customer valves replaced, and we had 0 mainline leaks. There were 1,323 past due bills, total $10,692 in penalty fees. If the board has any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
None for me.
Questions of the superintendent Menifee? No questions? Great report, thank you as always. 3 hydrants in a week?
Yes, sir. We have one Friday, Sunday, and one on Tuesday morning.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, the one by the, on 2 Mile Road was a good one, and the one up by the casino, just down from the casino, was a good one too. We got lucky on Sunday. It was just a hit, and it just kind of mangled the hydrant a little bit, so we got lucky on that one.
I'm going to assume that we have the police reports and all the necessary insurance information to recoup the water losses.
Yes, we are actually working actively on that with the ladies in the office, trying to recoup all that money back that we lost, hopefully if they have insurance. And I just want to say thank you for both crews for helping us on our field. We need everybody on that. I appreciate it.
Good job to staff, thank you very much. All right. Next up is going to be water quality. Superintendent Sheldon.
Water quality for November 2025, chlorine level in the distribution system averaged a 0.58 milligram per liter. Bacteria samples, 56 samples were taken throughout the distribution system, all came back absent. Fluoride samples, 31 were collected throughout the distribution system, with the average being 1.04 milligrams per liter of fluoride. Production, we were down 5% compared to a year ago, and we were down compared to 2013, 14.5%. If you have any questions.
None for me.
Robert, thank you. And next up is finance. Ian, welcome.
Make sure this is on, okay. Thank you, Mr. President. My name's Ian Berg. For those of you who haven't probably seen me in a while, I work with Scott at Starting Line Advisory. Happy to be back up here presenting to you at the 29 Palms Water District to deliver our financial report for the month of October 2025. So if we look at our cash and investments as of the end of the reporting month, October 31st, 2025, the district held just over $11.5 million. You can see the spread of the different investments in our various funds on this report. One of the things of note this month, as we're seeing just a change in some of the returns that we're earning at these different investment funds. So over the past, I'd say 18 to 24 months, we've had an inverted yield curve where short-term investments have outperformed the longer term. At this point in time, as of today, we're kind of seeing those equalize. So they're currently returning a similar rate. However, the district's invested in two pools. One is LAIF, one is CLASS. CLASS had been outperforming LAIF by a significant margin, and as of now, they're sort of more competitive, with the caveat that in CLASS, we get our interest paid monthly. So interest pays on interest quicker. So all things being equal, your money is still better served in CLASS at this time. I just wanted to point that out on the district cash and investments. And as we move forward to the summary statement of revenues and expenses for the period ending October 31st, happy to report we are 33% through the year, and everything is trending as expected or in line with expectations. So our operating revenues are at 37%, trending ahead of target. Our total revenue at 38%, so ahead of that 33% benchmark for the month. And our total expenses and debt service on line number 7 is at 32%. So we are right on target with our expenses. And as far as our capital program goes, we haven't had a ton of outlay this year. However, we do have a large project at the water treatment plant for that new reservoir. And until that gets legs, we won't really see a ton of outlay in the program. And with that, I'll take any questions from the board.
Any questions for you?
None from me.
Nothing.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And not last but not least, our general manager.
We'll try to be fast. There was 2 things that we spoke about last board meeting, so I just wanted to bring some things to your attention in my manager's report. Currently, active wells. Our newest well, or I'll say our youngest well, is 6 years old. PP2 is 6 years old, was drilled in 2019. Well 11B, where we have high chrome, high arsenic, and fluoride, was drilled in 2018, 7 years old. Well 17 is 16 years old, and it was drilled in 2009. Well 14 is 32 years old, which was drilled in 1993. TP1 was also drilled in 1993, so 32 years old. Well 16 was drilled in 1988, which is 37 years old. Well 15 was drilled in 87, 38 years old, and well 12 was drilled in 83, that's 42 years old. I just wanted to give you guys at least a little background on our active wells. Our inactive wells that have gone down, well 4 across the street was drilled in 1937. It went offline in 2014, it was 77 years old. Well 7 was drilled in 1962. It went off service in 2015, making it 53 years old. Well 11A, where we treat for arsenic, fluoride, and chrome, was drilled in 1978. That was only 38 years old before you had to demo that well. Well 13 was drilled in 85, went offline in 2004. That was only 19 years. Well 7B, we didn't hit water, so we were not able to put equipment down 7B, even though the surrounding area showed that there was water there. The non-pot well off of baseline is a non-pot, one customer besides if you come in the office and pull a water truckload and have another meter hooked to one of the, it's not really considered, but it is a newer well drilled in 2012, and that's still running, and it's considered non-pot. We use it as non-pot. Wanted to just give you guys an understanding, we don't know when these wells are gonna fail. Usually when we have a well issue and we start either pumping milky water, that means you have air in the system, or we can't pump water, there's something else we do is we pull all the equipment and we video and we start doing well rehab. You guys, some of the board members have been around for a well rehab on 17 and 14, and that's usually if we have an electrical hit where the power goes down, and now we're in the process of fixing the electrical hit. We will then take the time to get all the equipment pulled, do a brush and bail, A brush and bail is where you send a baler down, you clean up the sides, you video it, and then you pull all the equipment that loosened up to get how deep you can get back into your well. Recently, we've done that, I think at well 17 was the last? 14 was the last well we did a well rehab. You're looking at about 60, 75K whenever we do a well rehab like that. I just wanted to give you guys some background on that $2 million emergency well that we're putting in the 5-year rate study. These wells are anywhere from 6 years old to 42 years old, so failure could happen at any moment. The other conversation I just wanted to have in management report is we talked about the legislative committee that we had. We were missing a person from the legislative committee. I'd like to bring this back next meeting with either a clear understanding that we are going to disband the legislative committee or we add the other member. So with that being said, just kind of want some feedback on that, maybe in management report to say what direction we would rather go. The legislative committee was really driven through Chrome 6 and some of the things we were doing up at the state capitol. We have not had a legislative committee meeting late in the past few years, so it could be a time where we disband, and then if there's a major legislative issue come up, besides Ortega Strategies coming and giving us an update, we can always form that committee back. So I wanted to give you those 2 updates on things that were talked about in future staff reports or reports. One thing I wanted to say is the city staff has done an amazing job, and when I say city staff, I mean the city of 29 Palms, helping with those leaks. When we get a hit hydrant in a busy area, the roads are destroyed, there's dirt that's missing everywhere, and Craig and Corey really stepped up. Friday of last week, the one out in Lear wasn't as big because we didn't lose water, but then Monday of this week, we also had another major one where we had roads destroyed and quite a situation going on. So I just wanted to give them some credit publicly that when the 2 entities have these issues, we come together, we figure it out, and we get the roads and everything put back together. Also, we tell them this is a time to put in a claim where we can go after kind of some of the stuff that we're going to have to do at these sites too after we have to do our cleanup. So like I said, the 2-mile Palo Verde one went all the way down into the Ben Hunter track, and I think the city's already cleaned that up. That was last Friday. The Monday morning one I think is already cleaned up as well. So as far as my management reports, that's it, but it is the end of the year. So I've got a quick little spill on 2025. So in 2025, we saw some familiar faces retire, but we also saw new faces come aboard. In March, Steve, our mechanic of 20 years, retired from the district. In June, Rochelle Bowe, 37 years as the office manager. And in December, Russell, 16 years as a treatment plant operator. In the meantime of losing these important staff members, this district has not skipped a beat. I continue to be impressed by the district staff and the commitment that everyone has to this district. We have a great staff that is really customer service based. I enjoy working for this district that much, mostly because of the staff and what we get to do with daily. So I just wanted to give my staff the appreciation there. Our team would also not be where we are today without the great consultant teams that we have behind the scenes, working on the projects that don't get the acknowledgement or recognition. So tonight, I want to thank my main consultants, Katie and Loren. If you work with them from KJ, they're called our Easy Button. They're the engineers when we say, hey, we've got a major issue and we're doing something with all our well monitoring. Easy Button, call them, and they're really great. They help us a lot with the city stuff. Steve, Joey, and Luffy are 3 of our big attorneys over at BDK, so Best Bass and Krieger. Adon, Yasmin, Tim, and Susan over at Ortega Strategies. Michael with ESG Engineering, which is in the audience today. If you haven't met him, you'll meet him at the end of the meeting. And Scott and Ian with SL&A Financial. If it weren't for our consultants in the small district that we represent, we wouldn't be who we are. They do a lot behind the scenes that they don't get credit for. So today's the day that I give them credit. So to the board of directors, thank you for believing in our mission as public servants and allowing us the opportunity to lead this district. Without you guys in the direction, what would we do? What would be possible? There has to be direction for this entity to run and be a special district like we are. And that doesn't happen if we don't have a board that's pro employee, pro what we do, and really cares about the the customers of this district. So thank you guys. I always thank the ratepayers and the customers of our district, so happy holidays. Because without you, we couldn't provide the service that we do or be the public servants that we are, so we don't take that lightly. I know when people call and try to say, well, there's nowhere else to go in town as water. That doesn't mean that we say, yeah, we know that. We try to still get them back on our side and be the public servants that we are. That's important to us. But I do want to give them a chance to please come to a GM event. I'm doing some GM events in January and February for this rate study. We haven't had a super great turnout yet, but we're going to keep up. You guys will see stuffers in the next 2 months of bills. We're going to keep up with social media. We have things in the front office. So I really look forward to the staff joining us at these Coffee with the GM sessions, going over the rate study. And I just wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If the board has any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
The number of wells, the way they're numbered,
Mm-hmm.
you said we have like 14. Was there a number 1 at one day?
Yeah, so wells definitely changed their names, and we're at number 17, right? 17 is kind of the oldest, but when you think back of it, sometimes they also got treated like, so the treatment plant wells are TP1 and 2. They changed the organization of how they did those. So we're at 17. We've had up to 17 serviceable wells, but with wells that have gone off service too. So 4 across the street, we well sound, and we found out that it was a lot lower, and the well casing underneath has collapsed. That will be the next one that we look at abandoning the correct way, because there is a certain way that you have to abandon the wells. So that's the next one. But yeah, if we drill another well just in the distribution area, I would assume that the next well will be well 18, because again, it's production instead of water treatment, where WTP treatment plant 1 and 2 are over at the treatment plant. I also have a GPM of those wells, anywhere from 400 GPM, gallons per minute, all the way up to 2,100 gallons a minute is what we produce out of our active wells.
And different reasons why some of them are gone?
The well casing at well 11A, I remember when we did the video, which was 1978. That was only 38 years old. That was very surprising we lost the casing. We could go down and say, hey, we've got the steel from a different country. We could say it wasn't American made, or what we're doing now, or what we've done in the last couple wells, is we've gone all stainless steel, where we don't lose the well casing. As soon as you lose the well casing on an older well, at that point you're done. The well is not serviceable. You cannot put it back in service because you can't get the inner casing back out of the well. That's where we would drill another well. So I would say that usually if you lose a well at 19 or 38 years, there's some kind of failure in the casing.
So it's not a water quality issue very often, it's a failure of equipment.
You bring up a good point though. Well 4, we're in a neighborhood across the street where we did start to see nitrates. So nitrates there was an issue where we pulled and didn't bring to the system anymore. So it's something strategically or just for us wasn't at the time taking offline because of nitrates. Now remember, we're pulling lower drinking water and we started seeing elevated nitrates where the district shut it down. We're not gonna put the contaminated water into the system or close to contaminated water. So sometimes yes, but then we kept well 4 in the program of well testing and well sounding, where we did have, when we sent a video down, I would say within a year, we do have failure down there where we can't get to the bottom of the well anymore, and it has collapsed.
So if we were seeing nitrates over there in that small community area over there, how deep down is that well that we were seeing nitrates? Because we've had this discussion where we aren't seeing nitrates and we want to know where everything is in the saturation belt.
Yeah, so you have an unsaturated zone, and in that well, I think we're pulling water at about 270 is where we're pulling from, and we started to see an elevation in nitrates. So there's different nitrates that you look for. There's nitrates at 0.3s, and I think what had happened is we started to see just a trigger of it moving up, and we weren't producing, I think, as much. So when you stop producing, you know you're either having a motor or a pump starting to fail. And at that point, it was just decided at that time we weren't producing enough water. But when we talk about the unsaturated zone, so we talk about the top layer of aquifer, unsaturated zone, bottom layer is where we're pulling from. We do a lot of our testing in that bottom layer, and we did start to see a little increase.
So would those nitrates be from septic type systems percolating down, or is this naturally occurring nitrates?
No,
Or
usually when you see nitrates, I would say most of the time it is. Most of the time it could be related. But again, if we're not in that upper aquifer and we don't know what that unsaturated zone, I wouldn't be comfortable today giving you the exact.
I'm just curious because we keep talking about the city wanting to go to a wastewater system and everything else. We were talking about where the nitrates are and we aren't seeing it. So just education purposes for me.
So the exciting thing about that is today the USGS study kicked off. We
Right on.
were out with the USGS today, pulling samples from our wells. It's a $2.4 million study that is really for this community and it's really for this district. That USGS study was very important to keep the funds allocated to this community. And today that study started. It's a 5-year study, and there's a lot into that study. And here at the district, we want to be the ones that are the professionals and understand the study more than anyone. So it's a study that we're taking very serious and that we're going to be in every step, including ways to try to get that 2.4 lowered by them using some of our sites as sites where they can bring material and maybe put some monitoring wells in. So we're strategically also thinking about how we can save us money even in that study as well.
Thank you, Matt.
We're gonna learn a lot about that from that. Thank you, Matt. Any questions for the supervisor? Any other questions?
Only for this, that's the coffee with the GM. It doesn't have a place. Does it have a place and I'm not seeing a place?
Yeah, so it's going to be here at the boardroom. I did decide on Tuesdays, we would do a morning, a 9 to 10, and then the following Thursday, we would do a 5 to 6. On our bill stuffers that are going out, and on the website, it's saying, come to the boardroom. And what we're trying to do is draw people where they have conversation with us. Hey, we're meeting at the boardroom, we love, and we already want the rate study in front of them. So I'm not there giving a rate study discussion. I'm giving them a one-on-one of why are you upset with the rates or where we're at, and how can I relay the messaging? So if they come in and we get a big group and they say, hey, I want you to do a rate study slideshow, that's what we'll do, because they haven't really dove into the slideshow. But I'm really interested, especially towards the end, that I start to see people that are really concerned and give us ideas of why they're concerned and hear why we're doing the rate study. So right now it's been supporters at the meetings. I would like to see people, if there are, that have issues why we're raising rates.
And we're invited. In fact, we've attended. So please do.
That's why I wanted to know where it was at.
Pardon?
That's why I wanted to know where it was at.
But I couldn't drink all the coffee that was left over. I tried.
Okay. Future agenda items and tasks, staff tasks, director's comments and reports. That's a mouthful. Larry?
Hi, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Congratulations. I hope you do well in your next, you said funny books or something?
I'm making comic books.
He's a funny guy?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I wasn't around for your work. I hope to be around for this guy's long-term work, so.
I would double down on what Mr. Bowden has said. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you so much for your public service. And I'm very jealous of your confidence to go out and do something completely different. So I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Congratulations, very well deserved, and definitely keep us in the loop when you get some of your books published. We'd be very interested.
All right, I will.
Ditto. Thank you. Thank you very much for your service here. Appreciate it, and to the community.
I also, Russell, thank you for what you've done for the district. And are we going to be in your college book?
That's what he's basing it on.
Some of us will sign a release. I don't know.
Would that be like a Dilbert song?
Well, one thing about Russell is he could sit like on a break and sketch how to turn your water meter on, which we may have to contract with.
Yes.
This comic about how to turn water
Consulting.
on.
Yes.
Because if you've seen his artwork, it's amazing. In our White Elephant gift luncheon yesterday, I said there isn't much he doesn't know. I feel like he just knew, even me working in the field with him, there were so many things that he taught us, and it wasn't necessarily always about water. It was survival. It was But his artwork and who he is and his funniness, he's going to be missed. We always say that, there's big shoes to fill. We can't fill them. We just have to, like I said, we keep moving along and we keep doing what we do. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough one to see gone. This has been the 3 that have retired this year are tough. And those faces are not easy not to see here every day. So I do appreciate Russell and all he's done for the district.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
And happy holidays to all our ratepayers out there in TV land. Thank you for joining us tonight. And need a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn
I knew
the
she-
last meeting
I knew she was
of
gonna say that.
2025.
I knew she was gonna say that.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And there is a cake for Russell.